Uta here with a species tulip. I hope the deer and the squirrels don't eat them. I usually don't grow tulips. I mostly grow daffodils because they don't get eaten. So, this is about sex. This is about uh, the facts regarding nerve endings in the female reproductive system. I'm going to try to stay with really technical, graceful terms. And I want to make this statement because these surgeons need to know. Feel free to send this off to Dr. formerly Marcy Bowers or someone. These operations that they do where they are working to make a reproduction of the female vagina and vulva, um, and they disrespectfully call things, front hole or something like that. It's very objectionable. Um, and the fact is, they are really selling a fallacy. You might as well buy the Brooklyn Bridge. Um, Speaking of Brooklyn, uh, it was in Brooklyn that I went to the library on my lunch hours from my school in Cobble Hill, and and I would do a perimeter walk inside the library to make sure no parents of students of that I was teaching or anybody else from the school was there when I was uh, taking books about sex and reproduction off of the shelf to really inform myself. And, uh, uh, you know, I had already uh, had relationships with two men, Nettie, my husband, and then um, the violinist. And I still felt like somehow I didn't know everything I should. So I looked up the stuff, and one of the things that I found was, oh, I wouldn't check the books out either. I just read them there. I was, well, this is crazy. But the nerve endings that women have in the vulva and clitoris, and as well in the vagina, which actually has a little bit less than the tissue in front of the vagina, and actually uh, there's a lot of nerve endings in front of the pubis, the pubic bone, and all of this functions to help reproduction succeed, so that a woman will be aroused and interested in the foreplay, involved in physical intimacy. And in this case, of course, my research involved heterosexual sex. And so the thing is, the doctors cannot take the male reproductive organs and flip them inside out or something like that and insert them into the male pelvis and then end up with the same ratio of nerve endings that women have. And the result of having all these nerve endings and participating in satisfying foreplay is that there's a rise in temperature. Um, and things become engorged, just like a man has an erection, and his penis becomes engorged, and that then therefore it can insert into the vagina for sex um, or for intercourse. Um, the uh, the nerve endings are um, what causes this sort of flush of higher temperature in the system and makes it all possible for both the male and the female in their monogamous intimate relationship to have, orgasm. And the imagined rapture that men like Nettie, who ideate as almost a sexual fetish, that they have a female persona, Um, they are not never going to have, no matter how much surgery is done with the tissues that are being cut off and moved around and stuff, are not going to have the same sensitivity and nerve endings and capacity to heat up the way it works for a female. Um, so they are selling you the Brooklyn Bridge. You, they are imagining for you that you can have what you imagine as a man who thinks you're supposed to be a woman is the female part of the experience in the heterosexual act of intimacy. And so it will, the whatever they, put there will not respond the way the female system responds. And this is, it's just so risky because of the involvement of the urinary tract. So now, the statistic that I read about Brazil, which has an unusually high rate of these operations, is that in 30% of the manufacture of a fake female uh, genitalia from a body of a male, the rate of failure of that in terms of having to have a colostomy bag and being incontinent is 30%. Um, so, Richie Herron had this done and is now suing the National Health Service in the UK. And God bless him, he's got this Tulip R. I think it's Tulip with two L's and then an R, and that's his YouTube channel. I often comment on it, and I try to really be supportive. And I gave him the word persona recently, as he was really trying to process out this path of detransition that he's taking. So the doctors sold him a lie. This is take number 4. So please like and subscribe and pass on this information. And thank you to all the new subscribers and all of my stalwarts from the beginning.